You're listening to Virginia Trioli on ABC Radio Melbourne.
Before we head to the open line, a remarkable story of innovation. Sharon Burston is a Melbourne woman and an active mother of two living with degenerative vision who was struggling with navigating community and social activities using a commercial cane. So she got together with Solve Disability Solutions and has come up with what's being described here as a multi-terrain tip to her cane. And Sharon Burston is with me to explain exactly what that is. Sharon, good morning to you.
Oh, good morning, Virginia.
What was the tip of your cane not doing?
Look, the problem with the cane that was readily available was that as I would walk along, I like to walk at a decent speed, and my arm would jolt every time I went along the footpath and there were uneven. I mean, the footpaths are very uneven. You probably don't notice it that much when you're walking around, but when you're using a cane tip and it's sliding along, it gets stuck in every crack if the cane tip is not well designed, which all the commercial cane tips I tried, which were a lot, they all got stuck and my arm would jolt and it would, my arm and my shoulder would get really sore from that constant jolting. And also if I was walking with someone, which is very often I walk with people, I'd elbow them in the stomach and it was just really unpleasant.
Yeah, sure.
And then, just through a series of events, I heard about Solve Disability Solutions and worked together with Ian, who I believe is on the call with us, and an OT who came and they watched me basically walk with the old cane and saw how it was making my arm jolt. And we innovated together. Well, Ian is the one who was the brains behind it and solved this issue. And I've got this incredible cane tip now that glides beautifully, it's durable. Like the old cane tips would wear away after a few weeks. They'd have cracks in them because I walk a lot and I walk at a decent speed and it would just wear away. And now this cane tip is so durable and fantastic. It glides side to side, it moves forward, it doesn't get, I don't elbow anybody, my arm doesn't get jolted, and it's an absolute joy to walk now.
It sounds amazing. Well, in the same way as, you need decent tyres that are fit for purpose for the kind of driving that you do, so you do to the tip of your cane. Ian Winch is a technical volunteer at Solve Disability Solutions. Ian, hello.
Morning, Virginia.
What'd you come up with?
Well, as Sharon said, we watched her walk, and she'd been through, as she said, a lot of other versions of cane tips that weren't suitable for the type of walking and exercise that she does. And I think it was very clear that what was required was something that would respond to her needs. We had to do a little bit of research because we weren't quite sure where it was going to take us. We were lucky in that we did some Googling initially and found that there were some wheels that were able to go in two directions at once. That is, forwards, obviously, and sideways.
So have you put like rolling balls or little wheels on the tip of the cane? Have you?
Well, we have, yes. We looked at what was able to go in two directions, and we found these pre-existing products that are made interstate that were actually made for robotics, so that the robots can go in several directions at once, virtually. And they're made in several sizes. We contacted the manufacturers interstate, and they were able to provide us with a set. And we started to play with them and work out how that would
amazing
work on a cane tip. We made an initial version, which Sharon was able to use, but they had some limitations, and I guess that was the next stage of development.
I can imagine that it must have been trial and error. Ian, have you got it to the point now where it's as it should be, and are you going to commercialise this? Is this now a cane tip that hopefully will be manufactured for use by more people than just Sharon?
Yeah, that's a little bit out of my area, beyond my pay grade, but being a volunteer for the organisation, we just solved the immediate problem. What happens after that's a little bit beyond.
Well, let me ask Sharon. Sure, but Sharon, do you find that it's been so useful that you think there's a market here for other people with vision challenges to use a tip like this?
Oh, look, as I said to Ian, every time he brought a prototype to me, and then now I do believe this is the finished product. For me, I'm totally happy with it. First, we had to get the movement correct. And once we did, I just said to Ian, look, it's a bit heavy. And then they used a 3D printer and made it an even lighter version. And now I would say everyone with a vision impairment who likes to walk, not just incidentally from A to B, but likes to walk for exercise as well and walk at a decent pace. And if their arm is getting jolted the way mine was, this is definitely the cane tip to have. And I do believe it should be out there for everyone. And, you know, I mean, that being said, it's not just about the cane tip. And the cane tip is outstanding, and I have been so appreciative of it to Solve Disability Solutions. But it's also about the fact that I'm so thrilled that I discovered Solve as a concept, because I didn't know about them till I found out about
No,
what they
well,
do.
and I'll be honest, Sharon, and say that I haven't either, and I think it's worth a further conversation about the kind of disability solutions companies and organisations that are out there. It's been terrific talking to you both about this, and it's a lovely story to share. We'll take it further and see what happens with this multi-terrain tip. Sharon Burston, thank you for your time, and Ian Winch, great to talk to you as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Virginia. Thanks very much.